Culturally responsive literacy instruction is a relevant issue in today's schools as our student population becomes more diverse and students come with unique needs and background knowledge. With students having differences in religion, sexual orientation, culture, race, and socioeconomic statuses, the needs of each classroom look very different from the next. Imagine being in the classroom and reading and writing about stories that don't represent you and make you feel isolated. Reading and writing is the foundation for our learning, and it is through literacy instruction that students are learning about the outside world and how to interact with it as they prepare for their futures. According to Algazine and others, the definition of culturally responsive literacy instruction is the ability to connect students' backgrounds, interests, and experiences to the standards-based curriculum. Teachers will find effective practices to help plan, implement, manage, and evaluate literacy instruction for students with culturally and linguistically diverse backgrounds. According to Lou and Nelson, there is a growing need to support diverse students as conflict and anxiety has increased. This is an equity issue because our literacy instruction must meet the needs of all of our diverse learners. There is no way for a one-size-fits-all literacy curriculum to meet the needs of all students. This equity-related dilemma also corresponds with the Model Code of Ethics for Educators. It especially aligns with Principle 3, Responsibility to Students. This principle focuses on treating students with dignity and respect while also ensuring that one is providing a safe space for everyone to learn. My passion around this issue stems from being a special education teacher in a predominantly white staffed school district in Iowa. With a growing diverse roster, I often felt as though my writing and reading materials were unrelatable for my students. I found myself adhering to the district's chosen literacy curriculum and feeling as though my materials were outdated and unengaging for my unique student need. In contrast with my perspective around culturally responsive literacy instruction, some educators may struggle to view the importance and not feel it is worth the time to prioritize. Others may struggle with the idea because they are insecure in their abilities and are unsure how to omit or supplement current parts of their literacy curriculum. School administrators can also pose conflicting perspectives. Some leaders will understand the benefits for the entire school and will be motivated to support teachers and even help provide resources for them to succeed. Other leaders may have a harder time seeing the benefits and may be adamant about sticking to the district-chosen literacy curriculum and want instruction to look the same classroom to classroom. Another conflicting viewpoint is beliefs of local government, parents, and school boards. Many extreme laws are being proposed that may make teachers hesitant to stray from current curriculum. Laws such as banning certain books that limit educators and prevent them from teaching about certain topics may make educators cautious to make changes to current practices. While listening to Adichie's podcast, The Danger of a Single Story, during this course, my eyes were open to the constant stereotypical stories that we are telling students. While our intentions may be in the right place, sometimes our unconscious biases lead us to choosing books that are more harmful than helpful. Learning about assets-based education in Valentina Gonzalez's blog post helped me think about the benefits of getting to know our students and their backgrounds while embracing their differences. Tapping into our students' funds of knowledge, an idea created by Louis Mall, can help us engage families, a key component of culturally responsive literacy instruction. When thinking about ways to develop this practice, I have found it helpful to think about making small changes incrementally rather than trying to do it all at once. One of the first actions that I plan to take is evaluating my own classroom library and thinking critically about books that I plan to use for instruction. When choosing books, Ferlazzo suggests reflecting on intention versus impact. I plan to be critical when choosing books that are multicultural. Ferlazzo suggests considering the following questions. What books might serve as mirrors for my students of color? What books are written by authors of color? And what books are written by an author that shares an identity with the character? I also learned from Ferlazzo that when leading book club discussions, another step in the right direction is considering who is holding the power, what voices are being represented, and where voices of color are being used in instruction. Teachers also need to help students learn to ask critical questions while engaging in book discussion. Another action step towards being an educational leader in this practice is joining my district's equity committee. This would be a way to contribute and learn from others about how to create equity within the literacy classroom. It would also be a way to contribute to district initiatives and professional development that can help inspire other educators to make a change in their own literacy classroom. A short-term solution that I believe my building and other buildings can make is providing professional development to teachers on how to select books and help teachers come up with a plan on where to supplement and omit parts of the current literacy curriculum. This may involve coming up with grade-level book lists or giving teachers checklists that can help them effectively evaluate literature. Another short-term solution for buildings or districts would be to create community events where parents could come and share about their backgrounds and cultures at home. Teachers could aid in building the connection to the literacy curriculum and involve parents and families in discussions around books that they are reading in the classroom. A long-term solution is districts allocating time, research, and the funds to identifying literacy curriculums that are culturally responsive. Giving both teachers and students voices in the selection process can help create equity and can help create teacher buy-in to be inspired to have culturally relevant literacy instruction. An additional long-term solution is districts spending time recruiting and hiring people of color. The Massachusetts Department of Elementary and Secondary Education suggests analyzing the hiring process and making changes such as editing the language in job descriptions to make them more inviting and inclusive. In conclusion, while culturally responsive literacy poses educational dilemmas for many different stakeholders, making incremental changes in the literacy classroom will ultimately create a more equitable and assets-based literacy classroom. This is beneficial for each unique student and their individual need.